Hey guys! Today I will tell you about drugs and addiction and drug-related crime. The first chapter is all about what drugs are made of, the difference between soft and hard drugs, and which categories of drugs exist. The chapter Drug-related crime is mostly about drug trafficking. So let's start with the history of drugs. In the past, most drugs came from plants. For example, marijuana and opium. These products were gradually refined to produce heroin and cocaine. In the 20th century, people started using chemicals to make synthetic drugs, also called designer drugs, such as LSD and ecstasy. There are soft drugs, like marijuana, and hard drugs, like heroin and crack. Although soft drugs seem to be less harmful than hard ones, they are all addictive and affect a person's mood, behavior, and health. Alcohol and tobacco are also often classified as drugs, even though they are legal in many societies. Now I will talk about the different categories of drugs. The first category is marijuana. The next group is hallucinogens, like LSD and ecstasy, which cause hallucinations and trips. Moving on to the third category is opiates, for example heroin and morphine, which can give you serious damage to the immune system. Then the next one is stimulants, for example cocaine and crack. The fifth group is depressants, that reduce pain and make you basically numb. The next one is inhalants. They are called inhalants because you can breathe them in, for example, glue or paint. Then comes alcohol. And the last category is nicotine, which can be found in cigarettes and is proven to be a cause of heart disease and lung cancer. Some side effects of drugs are euphoria, tiredness, lowered blood pressure, poor concentration, and last but not least, cancer. Whether a drug addict or an alcoholic, kicking the habit, it can be very difficult. Kicking the habit means von der Sucht loskommen in German. Rehabilitation centers help people to overcome their withdrawal symptoms, and self-help groups try to help people having a relapse. A relapse is called Rückfall in German, for those who didn't know. Now I will continue with drug-related crime. Drug addiction can lead to physical, psychological, and financial problems. The number of drug-related crimes over the past decades has greatly increased. Drug trafficking, which means selling drugs, is now a major problem in many countries. Large shipments are often smuggled over borders by plane, lorry, or boat. A lorry is basically LKW in German. Small amounts of drugs are transported using couriers, also known as mules. Mules are called Maultiere in German. Once in the target country, the drugs are sold to dealers, who then sell them to users. Narcotics agents or officers try to stop drugs from reaching the streets by seizing shipments at customers or in undercover operations. Addicts sometimes found the habit through crime and prostitution. They might also commit crime when under the influence of drugs. Finally, here are my 5 most favorable vocabs. The first one is habit forming, which means addictive, and in German it's called süchtig machend. The next vocab is euphoria, which is a state of extreme happiness, sometimes more than reasonable. In German it means Euphorie or Hochstimmung. The third one is pain relief. It's a method of reducing pain and it's called Schmerzlinderung in German. Coming up next is dizziness, which is a feeling that your sense of balance is not good and that you may fall down. In German it means Schwindelgefühl. The last one is to seize. The word has several meanings and one of them is to take illegal or stolen goods from somebody, and in German it means etwas beschlagnahmen. So that's it for today's educational video. I hope you liked it and please remember, don't do drugs. Bye!